Well, hello again. Toby's here. He was the first person I saw on this trip, and he's gonna be the last person I see on this trip. And oh, I really should have gone home by this time. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Roll with the punches. Now, we're gonna hop a train, a southeastern service, out. I'm gonna ride with Toby as far as Beckenham Junction. Then he's gonna go home, and then I'm gonna do a few other things. So this should be a fun whirlwind last few hours of the night in London, because I want to go to St. John's Wood. I want to go to the zebra crossing. And then from there, I'll go up somewhere a little bit up and then take a Metropolitan line back in towards Aldgate, where I'll get off at King's Cross St. Pancras. And then that'll be it until tomorrow's Thameslink train to Gatwick.
The next train to depart from platform 3 will be the 2058 Southeastern.
So sadly, this is where we do say goodbye to Toby, who is the last one of my friends that I see on this trip. Just like back in 2016, he was the last one of my friends I saw on that trip.
Right at this station.
Right at this station, right here. If you go back, dig through my videos, you'll find that. It was so good to see you again. Thanks for meeting up with me at Victoria.
No problem.
Glad I could share the joy of testing negative and being able to go home. But it's off to the trams for me now.
The trams
Take care.
To here.
It's been one of those days. You may notice the hotel room looks a bit different than last time. That's because I moved over from the Point A, King's Cross, to the Standard, London, because, well, being in quarantine, it's nicer to be in a nicer hotel if you're going to be staying in the hotel for a while. But that's going to do it for London. And with my negative COVID test, I'm checked in for my flight. JetBlue, you better get flight 43 over here so I can go home. Okay? See you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Plane is on the ground at Gatwick. I have my negative test. I have my luggage. And I am at my favorite station in the United Kingdom. One of my favorite stations in the world. London St. Pancras International. Hopefully, I can get a Thameslink train to where I'm going, which is Gatwick Airport. So only 2 more taps with my contactless, and then that'll get me home, basically. Well, I still need one more tap with my contactless after that at Woodside. But that will come later. Hours and hours and hours later. But here we are at the, I guess, the Eurostar concourse of London St. Pancras, where I am very much not going, as much as I'd like to be on a Eurostar today. That won't get me home. Unfortunately, it's the ironing board seats of Thameslink that will get me home. Where 9:01 Brussels, then 10:22 Paris, 11:04 Amsterdam, and then a 12-something for Paris. I don't really have time to stop for anything. Just need to find Thameslink, which is this way. Just left East Croydon. Trains are not going past Red Hill today. There's bus service between Red Hill and Gatwick. So once we get to Red Hill at 9:29, it's going to be a rail replacement bus service to Gatwick, or if the line bus is too long, I will just get an Uber and head to Gatwick Airport that way, because it's not that far. The Hill and Gatwick are really only probably a few miles away from each other. So, and I need to get there, make this flight. So, the adventure still hasn't ended yet, has it? Made it to Gatwick Airport, checked my luggage, made it through security, and now have to navigate the duty free, where I do have a bit of a shopping list. Not from any of these though. I'm not getting any whiskeys or anything. I might for my brother, but I'll see. But definitely chocolate. Here we are, for November 4058 Juliet. Ready to go. Back to New York, JFK. So, about 8 hours from here to New York's Kennedy Airport. And so we should get in around 3:45 or so, I think. This is a noon departure out of Gatwick, but we should be leaving shortly. It's the last big leg of this trip, followed by, of course, going through immigration customs, then JFK Air Train, Long Island Railroad, and then the subway back home. I'm actually probably going to buy my Long Island Railroad ticket now, just because I can. I don't know why I'm sweating, but it's kind of, I guess it was a bit hot in the terminal. But time to go.
It's Betsy, assisted by First Officer Chris and Second Officer Shannon. The captain has advised us that once airborne, our flight to JFK will be 8 hours and 9 minutes. Safety is our top priority. We appreciate a few minutes of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features.
vlog series that began 3 weeks ago at Bowling Green ends in front of the stained glass at 40th Street in Sunnyside. It's been a wild 3 weeks, and for sure, after what I went through the last week, I have to say, absolutely get your vaccine if you haven't already. Get your booster if you haven't already. What I went through the last week was really nothing. It was stressful, but it was nothing. If I hadn't had all those things, my vaccines and my boosters, it could have been a lot worse. This is going to bring an end to this series, so, I have to thank Adam and Jude from my D&D game for hanging out with me in Gloucester and Swansea, and for Toby, Simon, Ian, and AJ for hanging out, filming with me in our respective vlogs and whatnot throughout the UK through the past 3 weeks. And one last time for this series, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and make sure you have notifications enabled so that you don't miss any of my content. The rest of the videos from this series, individual sort of videos, will release starting probably in 2 days from now, going all the way back to the beginning of the trip, and they will be releasing 3 days a week until the end of May. There will be other stuff coming out on off days, so on not Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, but that's the plan for the next while. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.